everybody. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope, an interview theory for the writers from the creative writing program at OCAD. Today we have this wonderful lady right beside me, Reem.
Hello.
How do you feel right now?
I feel good.
Feel good?
Yeah.
Do you know it's snowing outside?
I do know.
Yeah,
it's
cold now.
Yeah.
So Reem, you are fourth year this year?
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, my name is Reem. I'm in my fourth year of the creative writing program here at OCAD, and I like to write about humanity and nature and personhood and just kind of all of the experiences of being a person. I don't know, being me. I like to write my perspective. I like to write what I know. And I've done a couple of, I'm very multidisciplinary, so I really like to do a lot of things, but writing is the thing that, like, to my core is the thing that I do, and everything else is just a byproduct of writing.
Oh.
So, like, I like to, if I'm inspired to paint, it's always because I've written something. If I'm inspired to make a video, it's because of writing. So
you also a digital media
Yes.
minors, I think?
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, you just mentioned that writing is kind of the center of the core of all your passion, right? Why so? Why?
To me, it's just the language that I speak best in. It's the thing that makes the most sense to me, and to me it's like, everybody obviously has their most obvious form of art, but to me, that's what comes so naturally to me.
Natural to you. So, how do words speak to you as a writer then? What the words means to you?
In when I'm reading or when I'm
writing?
When I'm writing.
Yeah. Does it give you power? Does it
Yeah.
shows the nature of yourself, or would it work for you that you think is naturally?
Words to me, they're just, it is power. It is making sense of everything. Some people think that, I guess, like in high school, people always say, how can you like math better than English? It just, math has a correct answer. English doesn't have a correct answer. There's just up to interpretation and da-da-da. And to me, English and writing and words, there are answers. And especially in writing, as an author, when I create something, it feels like I've just completed the longest equation ever.
So magical.
Thank you.
It's so magical. So how do you begin to think about becoming a writer? When was this like, I want to be a writer thoughts like actually starting your brain?
I've actually like always known, always. And I actually I have the same dentist that I've had since I was like 4 years old.
Wow.
And I went to see her the other day, and I had the dental hygienist that I had the first time I ever went to the dentist as like a 4-year-old. And she was like, oh my gosh, you're studying creative writing. You've always talked about that. I'm so happy to see you doing that. And I remember that you used to just like, when this operation room used to be a playroom, you would come in here and you would be so fascinated with all the books, and you would be so sad when your appointment started because you just wanted to get out of the chair and run back and finish reading all of the books while your mom paid. And so I've just always known. It was also, when I used to give gifts to people, like at their birthdays or at any holidays or anything, I would make them a story with crayons and staples. And that was just how when you're a kid and you don't have money, it's like you have to make something, and that was something that I loved doing. I was like, let me write an adventure story about me and this person going to like fight a dragon or something, or write about how we watched a movie in the basement.
Wow.
Yeah.
So see, you mentioned when you were a kid, you write, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the earliest test that you wrote when you were young? Can you remember, like, vaguely?
I think it was a poem about a cat. Yeah.
About a cat?
Yeah.
Is that your cat, your parents' cat, or?
I didn't have a cat back then.
Okay.
I have cats now. I didn't have a cat back then, but I think that's what my parents always said was the first thing I wrote. And I don't remember anything about it. It's just something. I remember the word cat in my writing.
How old were you?
I think I was like, it was during preschool. Yeah.
Wow, that early?
Yeah. It was the second I could put down letters.
Oh my, I think you're definitely born to be a writer. Though.
Thank you.
It must. Do you think you can still find that writing?
I know
though?
exactly where it is, yeah.
Where is it?
It's in my basement in my parents' house. It's in a box titled like Reem's early writing and art. Yeah,
You
it's
have
in like
archive.
It's a box. Yeah.
You have an archive box
Yeah.
for it.
Mhm.
Any plan to publish in the future?
If you'd like the cat poetry, I'll find it. I'll find it for
Oh
you.
yeah, then let's do that. I would love to
Yeah.
listen. Then maybe you can publish it.
Mhm.
You mentioned you read. Mentioned
Mhm.
that the Daniel Hedges said that you like to run back into read. Like,
Mhm.
what did you read when as a young person?
Honestly, I used to sit with my sister and we would have a book open and she would let me know when she'd reached the end of the page and I would let her know when I'd reached the end of the page. She'd flip the page, we'd read together. Like, I'd sit with her holding the same book. And that's how we would read together. Like, we wouldn't both have a copy of a book and read it and talk about it. We would sit holding it on the same, like, I would be sitting in her lap or next to her, and that's how we would do it. And so we would go to the library every week because my mom is, she got us into music early and she got us into those lessons that I feel like every immigrant parent has their children in. And so I would do a piano lesson, my oldest sister would do a guitar lesson, and the sister in the middle would do either a violin or a singing lesson. And that would happen every Wednesday. And because the lessons were at different times, my mom would drop off my sisters at the music studio and then take me to the library. And I would grab 7 books, one for each day, until I could come back to the library again.
So are they fictions or picture books?
I liked fiction a lot. I went through all of the regular path of liking books that I think was set up for me. I would just say, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be reading. This is what everyone's reading. Or I found a book randomly at the library. Like, this sounds interesting. I like dragons. I like this right now. And it would just be different obsessions. I remember when I was in grade 3, I think I was like 8 years old, or the summer before it or something. I read the whole Harry Potter series over the 2 months of summer because I was just so excited to, I just read the first book and I was like, I need to know everything that happens. And it was something that my sister enjoyed, and it was something that I enjoyed. And I just liked finding all of these different series and getting to follow a life, I guess, because it's kind of, when you're young like that, the story starts with you. And then you get to like these fantasy characters that are like 13 years old or 12 years old or young kids, and you get to watch them grow up. And I just loved seeing how that played out for them.
I see. Were there any like some of your favorite authors, or you think is big on your literary influence on you?
I don't think so. I know that's such a weird thing to not have any influence, but it's really, for me, even now, just a matter of like, I go to the library, I have an obsession with something, and then I have so many obsessions and I don't follow up with other things the author has done. Maybe I get excited if I see something else, but
I see.
nothing.
But most likely it's the story itself, not the author. Oh, that's so interesting. You mentioned Harry Potter, right? When, like, do you remember when was the first time you read it? When you were 7, you said?
7 or 8, yeah.
So was that one of the books you think influenced you the most? Or story?
I don't know if it influenced me the most. I think that I always had just stories in my mind constantly. I remember, like, when I first got an iPod, like an iPod Touch, or when I had time to use the family computer, I would get to sit down and write, just inspired by the things around me. So, like, I watch a movie with my parents and I find out, and it's like set in a certain time. I get obsessed with these characters. I get obsessed with doing research on, like, let's say it's something medieval. Yeah. I would go to the library next day, medieval. I'm excited about that. I'm looking into media that is medieval in theme, and then I would write about it. And I remember when I was younger, I was really into playing the game Super Smash Brothers with my sisters. And there's very, very early, this is so embarrassing, very early on my mom's laptop is me writing, being like, and then Reem and her sisters saw Bowser. And so, like, just a self-insert Super Mario.
It's not embarrassing. I think I had that moment as well. Yeah, I definitely remembered watching a TV, and there's like a fairy tale, not fairy tales, like folk tales about like a white snake. That's like a big tale that, like, in China. And then I watched the TV about that, and I started writing about it, like me as the little green snake, and then blah blah blah. I think that's always the first, like, storytelling, like, you know, put yourself into the story and to think about, like, what's going to happen next.
Oh my gosh,
right? But do you think, because you say you always have this, like, you know, story in your brain, though, do you think those actually, when you're writing a story, let me put it this way, when you're writing a story, what is the thing you have always in your brain? For example, like me, when I'm writing, I always think about whether my story is actually going to reach people and to do the healing work, or it is actually relatable. Well, how about you? Like, when you're writing stories, what is the most important thing for you?
I think that the most important thing for me, and I think it took being at OCAD to realize this, because I would just get excited to write about anything for the longest time. To me, what's important, that is, like, the purpose of my writing, is sort of like for people not even necessarily to see themselves, but I love people. I really love humanity. I really love interactions and all of the things that we don't talk about. And I like talking about things that aren't talked about. I like getting to know a person, and or even just, like, witnessing a stranger and then writing about the experience. And to me, interactions with other people and that consciousness is one of the most magical things that we have. And there's something really powerful to me about taking something seemingly mundane and having people look at it and see it as magical, and helping people to see our world as magical through that.
I like how you say it. Just on that topic, you, for the recent the student cabaret thing at the TIFA, you read about this, you know, this poem that you wrote about humanity, about AI. Would you like to read it for us here?
Absolutely, yeah.
And let's listen, because I definitely think this reflects to what you just talked about.
Yes. So this is a piece called Natural Intelligence. I read it at the TIFA Cabaret. Yeah. Okay. Precise calculation is the entire lesson plan behind an upbringing. If we make calculated decisions, then we are worthy of a gold star. The general consensus is that AI is moving towards becoming like us. I think that this reaction is pure jealousy. We'd like to think that AI is becoming us, but it is nothing more than a first prize calculator. AI is the perfect son because he never talks back. He's never cried at the dining room table over his own penmanship. She's never lost a soccer game to her father's friend's daughter. It took us ages to become anything remotely close to calculators. The niceties before it conducts simple addition comes off taunting, hurting us in the same way it hurts to see a toddler on Facebook play Chopin. Nobody wants to envy a child prodigy. Nobody wants to admit feeling shame in a silver medal. And sure, AI can write articles faster than we can, but AI will never even know to mourn childlike wonder and naivety. It will never know a bronze grin. AI will never be a 16-year-old woman or a 21-year-old girl. AI will never know what it's like to believe in love and then not believe in love, and then believe in love again. We can show AI episodes of Hannah Montana, but it won't taste green beans and 4:30 on rice at the hum of a theme song. AI will never run out of space in the fridge to save the specially cooked love it's just made. It doesn't keep pastries from its first date with him in the freezer. It will never accidentally say I love you during sex. It will never mourn anything hard enough to scream into a pillow. It will never feel the glory in the sleep that comes after. Its sister will never tell it that its feet stink. It will never crawl into its mom's bed and feel magic through its curled body as her incantations slay its nightmares. It will never trip over a flat surface, never ask us to sign its cast. It will never forgive someone it shouldn't. AI has its mother's eyes, but not my grandfather's laugh. If to be precise means to never rush into things in the fear that things rush away just as fast, then I can never envy the calculated. If to be deliberate means to never have stories of my own to tell, then I don't want anything to do with deliberation. If to be a machine means to only hear but never undergo tales of temptation and fallout, then I pity what can't live and learn. And if to be by design means never to know your own hamartia, never taste discount grapes, or to never be fed fondue strawberries, then I cannot desire a mind so artificial that the sage wisdom in all of nature's fruits, forbidden or otherwise, is lost on it. If to be a high-value machine means to never learn by doing, never have the full-bodied memory of care soothe you through the results of its absence, then I can't envy an intelligence that has never yearned anything firsthand. I don't fear artificial intelligence becoming like us. I fear us becoming like artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Tell me what made you to write this piece?
I was thinking about the things that AI can't do specifically. And I know that especially in the writing field, oh my gosh, everybody's worried about AI, and it's completely understandable because obviously it can do so much and jobs can be taken away. But I wanted to focus on the things that it can't do because I think I saw a lot of people, a lot of writers that I know be afraid that it could take away from their experiences specifically. And their livelihood and their work is a different thing entirely. But I think that when I noticed people being afraid that it could write about their own life better than them, I just kind of thought about it and was like, well, that's not true. Only you can do that. And that there's something so magic in the fact that only you can do that. And AI is trained on a ton of different information, and it can gather these experiences and try its best, but it hasn't been you, and it doesn't know. And I just wanted to kind of give comfort to writers through that.
Today, in one of the class that I had, we talked about that actually the AI, the machine learning, the database that they input is extremely white, extremely racist. So there's a person that in class that, raised this argument being like, if you're a person of color, AI cannot replace you. It's a joke that they made, but think about it. I think there's a power. We talk about, it's magical, right? We talk about this, use the writer's eyes and everything. You have been thinking about to be a writer since you're 4, I'm sure. For the past 20-ish or 10-ish, whatever the years that you have experienced, are you at the present, or when the thing that you experience, you're thinking that you're an audience and observing it and to put it in the story or on paper? How about how do you deal with it between yourself and the role of a writer?
I think that I have a clear separation when I write in my head of what work is for me and what work is for the world. And it makes me really happy when the work that is for me can translate into something that is for the world. And a lot of the time, my first drafts are for me, and my second drafts are for the world. And it's just that I've given myself the time to look at it outside of the experience that I've written about. So if I'm feeling angry and I write something angry, that's not going to be my best draft if I publish that. If I'm angry and I'm angry when I publish it, and I'm feeling that. I need to take time. I need to grow away from whatever that feeling was and sort of let the universe bring me to a different place before I can reflect on it with a clear enough mind to get to a place of peace with this concept, you will get through it.
Reem, you know that like the ideal life in the Buddhism book is not rich abundance. Its life is peaceful. I think this is a great you using this tool to actually seeking for that. That's actually the purpose for having a life. To be peaceful, to be balanced with all parts of yourself, with the world, and yourself with the world, finding the peaceful moment. Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Do you think you get there yet? Or if there's any moments you feel like you are there?
I think piece by piece, like situation by situation. I don't see myself, hopefully one day, but for the recent future, I don't see myself having an experience and immediately having peace with it. I really like the experience of feeling an emotion in its entirety. I'm a dramatic person. Like, self-admittedly, I am a dramatic person, and I like to, if something is happening, then I like to experience it in its entirety. And to me, experiencing something in its entirety is feeling every emotion as it happens, writing everything down, documenting all of it. And there's something in the back of my head as I'm like dramatic. There's something in the back that's like, this is good for you. This is something to be written about. This is.
Oh my God, I know exactly what that is.
It's like,
yeah, you're like, give more. This is good. This is engaging,
take in every second of this, take in everything, because you will,
Oh my God, I thought I'm the only person actually thinking like that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your Petal Projections. I know that you're doing this whole year, and then you're going to have your launch party, and congratulations again on that. So much. Tell us how the whole thing started.
So there's a course that we take at OCAD called Writing in Community. And for the Writing in Community final project, you are tasked to create writing in community. You have to use your work in some way for the purpose of identity other than social media right now. And social media has been so interesting right now because it's defined my social interactions. It's all been media. And what I decided to do was to be slow and intentional and in nature. So I gathered a bunch of flowers. I pressed them at the start or midterm point of the semester. And I had gone on my Instagram and I had asked if anyone had experiences about intersectional feminism that they would like to share. The feelings of intersectionality, being a woman, identifying as a woman or identifying in any feminine sense, or witnessing any femininity, and that intersecting with somebody's, ability, somebody's race, somebody's anything that really gives those intersecting points, really emphasizes it, because we know that commonly a lot of the feminism movement that we've seen is white feminism.
And a very toxic at the same time. Yeah. Yeah.
And I wanted to create a space that could do exactly that and give voice to this.
Yeah, I think that's also the reason why I contribute one piece in your journal. You to featured in the winter, right? 2024 winter. What you just said about the femininity and the feminism there, the movement, that's why I wrote my piece on the solo lifestyle. Because for me, this is what I heard. Why my mom actually, she has two goals to want me to achieve. One is to get married. It's because in the culture, in a lot of people's eyes, a single woman is unhinged with a man. Sorry, this is very misogyny here. Is considered as danger and trouble. You know that I recently am booking a hotel that in Japan that I need to, visit and stay. The moment they see me as a single woman booking a hotel, they actually phone me, particularly ask me, "Are you sure you're alone?" Single women are not allowed to take space. And then women of color, there's no space for us anywhere else. We have to somehow attach on some power, authorities, then we're allowed to be something. Is this also the reason why you started this whole project? You want to create a space for the people, for their femininity?
Yeah, I wanted to create that space. I wanted everybody to gather and see those experiences. So when I asked that on social media, I got so many responses. And what I did with that was I took the pressed flowers and I hand wrote everything that was submitted to me. Even if I got paragraphs long, I was like, I am taking this in and I am taking time. And, especially online during the pandemic, when you're doing classes, I let everything pile up until the last minute. And my school experience up to that point was just mind-numbing boredom and then a week of insane stress to get everything done. And with this project, I just kind of got to sit and take a deep breath and just wow, I have time. Everything is okay. And really take time to see these experiences and write them in my handwriting and really take in everything that everybody was saying. And the purpose of the pressed flowers was to sort of show that there is so much beauty in this world and it is all so different and all of our experiences are so different and we can sort of have this garden where we all gather, we all exist, and we are all beautiful.
Wow. Say that last one sentence again, please. We are?
We are all beautiful. We all gather. We all exist. We are all beautiful. Thank you.
Cheer for that.
And after that first project, and with that, I created the publication because I was just so moved by that project that I wanted to make it bigger. And the feedback that I got from Ian for that first project was, I understand the anonymity of this, but I want to know more about these people. And I thought about it and I said, I want to know more about these people. I want to amplify these voices. I want to keep doing this. So I created these publications so that anyone who wanted their work submitted could submit. And I got to showcase all of these amazing writers and all of these amazing artists.
Yeah. Let's PR a little bit for your, promote a little bit for your launch party. It's on December 1st. Tell us where it's going to happen and what time, where?
Yes, December 1st, 1233R Queen Street West.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. So it's been 2 years of releasing
2 years.
This magazine. Yeah.
Wow.
So I've released, it's quarterly, so I've released 8 issues of it.
Oh my God.
And
great.
I got the chance for the 7th and 8th issue to do an independent study with Ian. And because I'm in my last year, I got the chance to do this, and I'm really happy that I got the chance to do this with Ian. And, you know, I got to put together the publication with his supervision, with his advice, and I am now hosting a launch event where I've been talking about gathering and having this space, but I haven't physically had a space for this yet, and it's really exciting to me that I get to physically have people gather, and people are going to be reading their pieces from the publication, just mingling, meeting each other, and it's in collaboration with the OCAD U Creative Writing Program and our weekly event. So people from the program will be coming and joining in on the open mic, and it's just going to be a really nice night of people gathering. I'm really excited for it.
I'm excited for you because we're finally seeing this, like, this space you create for people in the magazine transforming to, like, already transformed to hard space, and now it's actually a physical space, right? What do you want to achieve with this Petal Projection project? Like, what is your ideal thing you want to achieve in the future?
I don't know, because I think everything I'm doing right now is I've already achieved it. And I think that for me, it's just, I'm so honored that people entrust me with this work and give me the chance to publish it. And it's just really been such a great experience. And I guess for the future, I've started a publishing company inspired by all of the work that I saw come to Petal Projections. And something that I've been thinking about with Petal Projections is a lot of the time artists who are women or who are women of color, they're limited to writing about their identity. They're limited to identity artistry, and that's not something I wanted to happen in Petal Projections. So while we do have those themes, we do accept any sort of work. And I wanted to create a publishing space so that I could accept all of these different kinds of work without limiting artists to this identity artistry. And I saw so many amazing works come through Petal Projections that I've been really excited to collaborate with on making bigger projects and doing that through the publishing company.
Reem, I have to tell you this. First of all, amazing.
Thank you.
Impressive. I remember a year ago, I had this conversation with our professor, Lillian Allen, who is our funder for our program, creative writing program. She mentioned that once a while, each year we'll have 1 or 2 students that are actually doing the work for the community. Thank you for doing this for us. It means a lot. A lot of people that I have talked is they more thinking about themselves. But you actually, now you're carving this in, maybe you're going into it and you're going to change the industry, change the narrative of the industry, right? You mentioned about your publishing company there. Let's rewind back a little bit. You are doing your thesis right now?
I am,
yes. Okay, would you like to talk a little bit about that? To tell us a little bit what you're doing with your thesis project?
So what I'm doing with my thesis project is I'm creating a graphic novel, which I'm so excited about.
Are you also the artist?
I am, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How you do? Oh my God, I can't draw. I like writing in English, even just for one sentence, I'm very, very proud of myself. Oh my God, you're amazing.
I have so many experiences in the creative writing program where we'll be in a creative writing program space and they're like, oh no, who can draw? Like we're at OCAD and they're like, who can draw in this room? And
most people can't draw. That's why we become a writer, you know?
We wanted to be here.
So it's a graphic novel.
Yes, it's a graphic novel, and it's called Dream Diary, which is really exciting. And I got to...
oh my God.
I know. That's why I was... Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it is called Dream Diary, and the concept, I thought about it maybe 2 years ago. I started thinking about, I want to take my dreams and put them into a graphic novel and document them and just kind of have that archived and put together like a collection. And then I thought about my thesis and what I want to come from my thesis. And I want to write one of these magical plots. And I want to get in touch with the humanity of it and really not even necessarily challenge myself as a writer, as an artist, but make a culmination of these things that I know that I have done separately in little things and just bring them together and really create this wonderful piece. And the concept behind it is that there's a character and she gets the opportunity through her dream diary to speak with herself in her subconscious, living through a narrative very similar to hers throughout the span of a month.
Are you going to have a installation for the GradX?
Yes, I will have an installation for GradX. I am very excited about this. Wow. So something about me is that I almost majored in physics instead of creative writing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened?
I disappointed my parents.
No. That's their projections. You don't need to chase that.
But I thought about it, and I couldn't get myself to apply to any programs because I was like, I don't want to do this for the next 4 years. And I had really excellent grades. It was very available to me. But I sort of, when I got the information about applying, I did it by myself on my laptop because I was like, this is for me. I'm not going to apply anywhere that is going to, it's not what I want to do. And I was very entertained by things like math and physics and biology, but it just never really gave me the love that writing gives me.
I see. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. As someone who actually did multiple degrees and now is doing the creative writing, I'm going to say this. Even though you did physics, even though you did science, you're still going to come back to creative writing. Yeah. This is no matter, like, sooner or later, because you love it. You know what you want.
Yeah. But for my installation, I used to just build a lot of things. I really liked building. I built a ukulele once for a physics project with my dad. I built a projector when I was younger with my sister, just out of like a coffee can and a magnifying glass.
You're too smart.
So what I'm doing for my presentation is I'm going to create a VR headset based entirely with just like lens physics and all of that, and I'm going to have all of these like kind of gathered around the room, and people will be able to scan a QR code and slide their phone into the front of the VR headset, and then they'll be able to access sort of different scenes from the graphic novel that I will have put together.
I'm very excited for it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. I will manifest the best wish for you to actually get it happen.
Thank you.
And on time, because I know time is very packed with the GradX. You have to hand in early, right?
Like a brain chemistry moment of like, I'm satisfied. Everything is really happy. I feel bliss. This is done.